I think that's enough for one day. It was productive. It was both, and I have tomorrow off too. And so I'm playing Puppet Master a little bit here. Carlos and Will's second bow. Oh, they're going to be so cool. Those things. Woodwork is done. Tillering is done. I'm going to pile on a sinew. Those are going to be some BA bows. Hugh's flat bow that's going to be recurved. It's coming along nicely. I need to do some final tillering on it and bend the tips, but it's Osage, so that's not a big deal. Robert, it's going to be your little Osage horse bow. This one's going to England, the country of UK. I'm being kind of sarcastic here. I'm being ironic. So Rob, got quite a bit of the woodwork done on your bow. Okay. Gabriel. I've been looking, as I've been doing video after video, of picture this. Picture this. Another hickory stave. And I don't know where the upper half went. It's somewhere here. But what I mean by upper is I split it in half so I could get a bow from the inner portion and maybe two bows out of the outer portion. Well, I've been staring at the inner portion with the heartwood, thinking, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to work that down to the heartwood and make a heartwood hickory bow. And that's what I did. It would be on the heavy side, 55, 60 pounds as it stands, but some sanding after the sinew. I don't know what the sinew's going to do exactly to it. But this is, Gabriel, this is your stave made hickory bow worked down to one growth ring in the heartwood. Oh yeah. And I'll tell you, there's two woods. There's two kinds of woods, and I'm going to fire harden it, of course. Hopefully set the curves into it. There's two bow woods that I can't say I'm particularly fond of heat shaping, steaming, or dry heat. One of them is maple. The other one is hickory. It's going to be fire hardened, yeah, but I steam bended the curve in it, and no problems, no break in the fibers. But this sucker, this took almost an hour to get this bend in it. You know, with any other wood, not even steam bend Osage, you know, why not? You can do that. Contrary to popular belief that it'll split and check and do all sorts of bad things. I've never had that happen. But you know, in 25 minutes, boom, it would have turned into rubber. I could have bent it over one of these forms. Ain't nothing but a thing with Osage or the oaks or some other woods. Chokecherry. Hickory? Hickory does not want to bend. Even stave made that were air-dried staves, they do not want to bend. I could have, with any other wood, had this bend in here and had these bends, but old hickory, stubborn as heck. And so that's that for the bows that I've made a start in. Now Jesse, I was going to do an Osage bow for you, then I've gotten you have Osage aplenty. You are an Osage guy. You walk out your door, there's Osage, right? So it needs to be another wood. That one hurt. Post office broke his bow that I sent him, and I'm going to replace it. You know, hopefully he can get the insurance money for it and a replacement bow. I mean, he deserves it. And so I'm looking around here thinking, wanted a paddle bow. And being the typical person that watches my videos and buys my bows, he's like, you know what, just send me anything you have laying around. But no, I'm not going to do that. You wanted a paddle bow, you're going to get a paddle bow. And I suspect that I cut a bunch of maple staves at the preserve, and they've been drying this whole time. I probably have a big enough diameter maple stave here to actually make your 60-inch paddle bow. Wouldn't that be cool? It's been a while since I made a stave-made paddle bow. I think it's about time again. And this is, you know, the whole story with, he wanted a board bow, right? And there's nothing wrong with board bows, but I want to work with staves now. I want to work with staves. And so I want to make a stave-made paddle bow for him. And then I do believe I'm caught up with this round of bows. A bunch of them are going to be done at once. Bunch of bows. And then it's on to, we need, no, this is a maple stave. This is what I was looking for to make the paddle bow for Jesse. So I'm going to put that right here. That would make an excellent long bow, but, you know, make a good paddle bow. Somewhere around here I have, how do you lose an elm log? I don't know. Got up and ran away. It's time to make elm bows. My version of a Welsh longbow. Maybe I won't even use that log. Maybe I'll use a shorter one because that log is somewhat long. I've got some shorter ones that are in the 5-foot range somewhere around here. Somewhere. Isn't that a problem? Poor me. I've got so many staves I don't know where they are. Yeah, cry me a freaking river. Want to make a hill style longbow. Want to make probably a molar gate bed. Probably a home guard. Who knows what? Maybe I can get 5 bows if I do. And an English style longbow. Yeah. That's my plan. Yeah, I'm sticking to it. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to eat some dinner. I'm admired that I was able to bend hickory. Some ways it works harder than Osage, but if you work it the way it wants to be worked, it's not. You know, this stuff, in some respects, works like butter. Really, really hard butter, but, you know, it's a good wood for scraping. It scrapes like a son of a gun. And the one thing I like is when I'm draw knifing edges, you know, getting the fiber, it doesn't seem to tear out as easy as Osage does. If I was to take this bow and strictly use a draw knife to create the shape of the face when you're looking directly at it, and by that means I'm draw knifing the sides, you really risk tearing it out and having to make a narrower bow. But hickory, you can, it's almost fearless. I mean, you can draw knife it to its dimensions, you know, and it really does not want to tear out. So it's a difficult, easy wood. Yeah. Well, with that, been down here working on bows for darn near 12 hours straight. But I enjoy it. It's good. Very good. Very, very good.